of freedom. Ghana, land of freedom. Toils of the brave and the sweat of their labors. Toils of the brave which have brought results.
Welcome back to the show. We are seated behind a table for men and women. Oponwa memane matinechiri isusu adwen isua adwene. Opona ye tinechiri a ye kai se ya hyenso de a edi ye kan ni se ye Christofo nti ye de ye no se de Christ bepese ye beyo no. Nemom sabio se odifo ana okonfo a wotikuru bi mu se one de ne nkomhwa ne se wo makuro ni nkoso ase kuro ni bo a wono so so wotikuro mu hobio enti yen Christopher so yen kan ya no ntum na emum ye be soye adwen ye be kire ya adwene se de be ya bibia betimi ewie peyo na se timamufo etna ase na bibia ewie peyo no omo de rade ase yeso so Christopher ya da ya se ye ka ho bi na ewie peyo. Welcome back to the show. My name is 𝗦𝗶𝗿𝗲 Vincent Agbamanya, and I am anchoring this segment of the show as I'm here for the next 45 minutes or so. I am happy to let you know, say, Mpenifo, aye krado say yebetimi edi sa enkomwe. This morning we are looking at how the political and religious landscape of this country has informed our growth or otherwise. Tina michirechire mu a yabakosam se Ghana fo ene sabio wasoma hodo a ewo Ghana ha ekwan ben so na aboa yen ama yenyini na yenyini po ana se yeguso etie ABC mu. Well, let me first introduce our father, grandpa Bakope achirechire fo mu nyina chirechire ni, the Most Reverend Professor Emeritus Emmanuel K. Asante, a theologian, a past presiding bishop of the Methodist Church Ghana. Papa, morning.
Good morning, Minya. I want to say.
Me ba cho me hoye papa. So muso e mama hoye.
Radiadum.
Radiase. All right. Afi so papa ne nana e baako e wa ha ono so be so mu kakra. Gabriel ni otu Ankara is the name. Anyami, diden. Ojoko.
Ah, njemra. Jechele.
Nimi mi wiake ne nana ne nana pa no. All right. Yeda eradia se. Prof yede ebehye ase. Ye wo ensa na hobi e babeto se empenifo e kan se uko edwabo ase na urefi ukromu hini abenya wo yira wo edwabo ase, so that knowing our history and drawing lessons from them is very important for our identity. Prof, how do you corroborate or otherwise that statement?
Yo, me da se be brave.
Yes, sir.
Asem no prepa na wo kano se urefi yenda chinye esie ni etwemu a yinim sentia ye ha if isenye fitin ya na eduru ende o nrabai ansa na ne eba sa na ne so ebe wo echina isenti no say betimi ya na year as the landmarks ye neme bia ye mpanifo no di kan omo de omo enkwa ene omo hodin ene omo de kuye ene omo de je oman no na ba beto ye so aye wa hande ndi se wifi sa ne omo ye no na nse misa omo bisa ye ntima omo ekundru ba bi omo du ye no se e masanse misa no free tribon enko ye mai
All right. Thank you so much. So same question for you. Our identity stems from our history. Heni wo jeni womba. Game ba wiake wajashon waje blema wagbejeke. No ba shebi free baby Tony aba baby do. How has our history shaped our current form now?
Yes, I think, like you mentioned, we have come a very long way.
Yes.
The literature is there. The history tells us. Well, even if you were not born at that time, like myself, my grandpa was there. He had witnessed some of them. At least with the literature, we know. The history. So if we are looking at our political trajectory, our space, then the people of old, we are talking about our chiefs, how they fought for us to be where we are, our independence, the pre-independence struggles come to play. The first president comes to play. As the first president, what legacy did he leave for us? Economically, politically. Then came the era of the coups. Then came the famous 1983 things that some of us were born around that time. Then came the post military junta, where we had a democracy, till where we are, where your constitution, this 68 years, the whole of this match I had celebrating till Utifrit 68 no more, fourth Republican Constitution, Anya Bese 32 years, baby na yeduha. Okay. So those things have informed. Emeritus Prof. and so we have come a long way. Ghana, our GDP exceeds over $70 billion. People have built upon. There have been policies. There have been. So we can look back and then learn from the mistakes and prepare for the future.
All right. So we are entering into the future then, but we also want to lay bare, say, before the colonial invasion, pre-colonial, no prof. There were some important kingdoms. Ghana. I mean, we can talk about the old Ghana Empire Kingdom. Manfo baby susu say enwana a revolutionize ya etimi edi abani kakra babe Ghana. We talk about the Ashanti Kingdom. I mean, and some of the Akan states, the Bonoman Kingdom, the Denchira, the Mankesim, the Akwamus. These are very, very, very important kingdoms. Confederacy, said the Fanti Confederacy, people believe was the first elite confederacy in Ghana. Prof, how have we drawn lessons from them? Say, sa kingdom we na omujina brane so ansa na obroni koko eba. Hello, Professor. All right. So let's whilst we align with Prof, no?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, Prof.
Well,
yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. You are loud and clear. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, having some problems with the audio.
Okay.
Yes. Said Kano. You see, Ansana Obu ni Ebebahano, Yanana Medikano, they fought for the land. They made sure, because I mean, identity is also tied to a land.
Okay.
You have no identity. In fact, that's the reason why in the Bible, Israel is very, very proud, because they think they were landless and God gave them land. But if you look at their own history, even in Israel, the people struggled for the land. They fought for the land. Those days say or mind their pastor say they are paying ye debi entina no yes anema. Sa na so de ba Quarcoo said they can fanti confederacy ni keka honing na. Penifo ka hu bu said e be ya e bitimi ai enkambo mu e beboy asase hu ban na fe ye di mpuntu said they no mo city ase no so e bitimi de aba o memu. So these were the sort of things they did. Na sa ne manuamu na omode tete a bruni koko ba ya se bi bruni koko ba bedi yenso bruni koko no bedi yenso ni twa history ni tia de ba ya ne se yempanifo no e bi transia hu se ye ne yasa asini ena nkofo ya ba ena ma ba be hye yenso ezi se bre bi ezi timi ya asase ezi se timi di yenso so the America say they ask a certain question.
Okay.
As a mission be on Mubisa and ahofadie any pepe freedom and justice. Any said the ya any bit me die so na yen konko yen kwa.
All right. Ni before the white man came, we existed. We had kingdoms, and I have mentioned some of the kingdoms. We were elite in our own right. What lessons do we draw from that part of our history?
Yes, just like you mentioned, unfortunately, the white man brainwashed us. Emma, you too, Mose, or you're saying, you know, they are all they brain, and a sombo. And we also took it, and it has affected us psychologically. Up till now, it has affected us.
So that's the identity Prof is talking about.
He's talking about. So they gave us, I wouldn't say a new identity, a false identity.
Okay.
Because originally that wasn't what was there. The kingdoms that existed controlled empires. They owned the land, they owned the wealth. Me, one of it that the what I liked was the part about Yamame Yasantua resisting British rule of Babisia Eddie or Kwenim for them to know that
this is our land.
This is our land. Say everybody saying. And then no enkra ye wo nyum bia it say mini watch me boy. What did they tell them? That we are where we are now. What did they tell them? What did they tell us? That has made us inferior. Guinness where did we come from? So psychologically we should have been dominating by now because answer na obroni beba no na yen yedie ho if we had to say that. So something should, that pride ebia kandifono ye nananom. I always say maybe greed,
okay,
individualism came in dia menya nti wandwe dodo one ho ena ma omobedi ye no yensu no ma ama enkyerema eso adwene saa se uye bibini a bibia I say uhwe obroni wa want to me and take your own decision. Your destiny has to be tied to that. Is how come says here we have so much resources but still we beg and go for aid. So if we can learn from the past, can we go back and take our pride?
Okay,
because the resources God has not taken from us.
Wow. Prof Mbacha Otemenka. Okay, you president. Yeah, that's it. So for Pomo, all right, you assemble a Pia, you say Obama also. I think the white man, Brunicoko Banana, or a certain psychological plan. Say what they banner. Wabe me who say no yen sashe mfatashe aje wono netimi edi so all of a sudden the white man comes to fight with us on the very same land that yen nananom na womo ko nana boy asanto anom asem ene ekwan bebre a yen nananom fa so se womo ko. The white man had a psychological plan.
Yeah, it's a white man or by no. That's some other kind. So they came in the first place. She can't a good year, a Japadi, ain't no they can buy. But as time went on, they came what they claimed to be on a civilizing mission. So ye bashi baby on assumption, ye catch a crowd and then but on a civilizing mission, the assumption is that you don't have anything. At some point, you catch us, you need history.
That's right.
And you need a backwards. And today had come to that. Woman ever yes and Yamano, and through a Yama who do be brown with the buy, they came to alienate us from our own culture and then introduce their own culture to us. And today, enslavement is not so much a property in but part of it is
Okay.
well, and then we started looking upon ourselves as inferior. Our self-worth was destroyed. And ye bibia no bide de na menana no kano wo penyame hu na hu bronia and na wasa they are the ones who know it.
Yeah.
And it affected it affected our psyche and everything, so that even though say yes if somebody is an elite in the country, obi a wohua broni amamre hua omuniema no one elite no and aka no de yakotwura. There are people again, this were the expressions that we were using to denigrate yenia culture, yenia gasa yen amamre ni eniema na yewon. But at the same time, so we need to give, when we say this, so we need to give some of them, especially some of the missionaries who came, we need to give them credit.
Yeah.
Because after all, the Basel mission and others say they came to teach us, say, language in so matter. In fact, for the very first time, they help us to commit our own language into writing.
Yeah.
But the psyche don't destroy any day. A basic ne yakra no menyi se atimi agye ye ho ye kasa ye kano sebi ye de nkanka de yakọ school ye ntimi nkan kasa akra nkosi ahia nkofa broni ne ma message asa mfm enti ya de ya ahaya adwen pa ya mamu nura se na me students bi din ko na me kasa ntimi hu sentia even ye fa economic ra no ya zoom say yenko for the need if ya ne yanko ka Adam Smith ne one say economy. But before these people came, they go apply on Fafra get here near ya mamre I mean politics yeah. And we have not even taken into consideration the fact that before the white man's politics, near for class yes politics. The same thing sorry then you start can say, look, let's go back. Let's do archaeology, taking into consideration. Because Brunia catches any in a year, or only the end of the year. And this is because true, we be grand man go to Bruni, man can de Bruni, I Akeka, and in a man near mammy, ye catch it. Well, sir, near my way, no, a name on the buyer, the best. Say, I for me, near Mumbai, I have a park, a see it near on my yen or arguing. Say, Yachi arguing. Now, the Ukas political independence, now we are the independence of the mind. And then, of course, Yasanso Akoshef of economic enslavement. Any other.
All right, Prof, thank you for that wonderful point. Indeed, Kwame Nkrumah unequivocally made the statement. Well, he made it first in Ghana on the Day of Independence and during his first speech at the formation of the OAU, he also made it. He said, there is a subtle danger after our jubilation of colonial freedom, something he calls neo-colonialism. And Nkrumah was very, very, very specific. Colonialism of the mind. Let's look at this nature of the question. Now, within colonialism, the white man imposed everything about him. Just so ye ni bibia de guye so. Said the be ya yen so no ye rebe fi de ne yeso so ye prof account the psychological part. What other portion of mental slavery do you want to talk about? Now, before you go that, let's quickly go through these dates. So we know, and we said it on this platform, saying the year 1471 was the official entry of the Portuguese into the Gold Coast through Elmina. Some people have debated it to say it is 1482, but whichever it is, either 1482 or 1471. Now, so much so that by the year 1874, official colonialism had started. And as you know, the history started with making sure that the Frantic Confederacy was weakened. From there, making sure that the Ashantis were annexed. And once Ashanti was annexed into the Gold Coast enclave, obviously the Ashantis who were supervising the Northern Territories became part of the British colony. We are a colonial system.
Yes, the history that you played with the dates, it made me smile. Because back in basic school I played the role of Don Diego de Azambuja. It was a cluster of schools in the whole, and I was the toast because I was Obroni and I was speaking. They forgot that Nana Kwame Ansan, the chief who led, and I came to meet and all that. So anytime I hear about colonialism, my mind goes there. So indirectly I was the colonizer, or I was the one that day. So we've mentioned the psychology bit. I think they even gave us the educational system. We were educating ourselves. We had our way of educating ourselves, and people are not going to school, but they thrive on wisdom. I wouldn't say they were not lettered. They can't write their English, but I believe they were writing. They had ways of communicating and learning. Now they sent some of our people to London and England to go in school and come. Of course, we are now developing, so they went and came. This has continued. So it's even as in this present dispensation, if you don't school outside, abroad, your certificate or your degree is not weightier. Unlike Oxford, Leicester, if you get opportunity, why not? If the opportunity comes, why not? You need to go. But still, we feel that the white man's education, going there on his soil to be taught with all the facilities there, is the best. Again, our language. The language. We had our language. It affected it. Now, we don't know. English is not an official language. Apart from English, at a point in time, the debate started, it said, Tree nene by Equiapim tree, Asanti tree, Fanti. Which one are we speaking? So as a people up till now, sometimes we fill a passport form, you are confused. If they ask you your first language, only they are English, and why do we still use English as the again our way of dressing? Your cloth, and you look rich, your regalia, and we were proud in dressing like that. You look at the old visuals, then.
So talking about our dressing, would you have wanted the Gold Coasters to remain in the way they dress? Indeed, I from Brother Battle's FS Battle's description of how, no, I think it was Agbeti who described from how the Don Diego de Azambuja met Nana Kwame Nkrumah, from the perspective of the whites, the people who came from the coastal area were almost naked. Not almost sheshe and normal, but that was our dressing. It is a seb you are brofuyaba and normal brain kabasroto in your mommy dress. What is wrong with that?
I like the qualification. You see, almost naked, almost. And we were not ashamed. Like the Garden of Eden, we were not ashamed. That was our identity. Maybe in current times, you can say you can come out with bare chest and all that, you can't do that. But then, in that era, in that dispensation, that was our identity. That was how we were dressing. Until recently, Parliament could check any African wear. They say you are naked. Be in suit. Now, Speaker of Parliament dresses, and today he's in Anglo costume, tomorrow he's in this and that and that. These are ways of more or less getting back our psychological strength that was taken from us. Only if this current generation will see the wisdom in it. Say, it is our pride. Don't feel shy dressing in your African attire for a function if they want to wear their suit, their temperature, and let them wear. If you feel like wearing simple kaftan, may I want me share cheddar and then my share because I want to, you know,
look Ghanaian.
Ghanaian.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Prof, Papa, yemra with you. People have said, say, the form of Christianity that was introduced to us as Gold Coasters has been a curse rather than a blessing. Indeed, from the 15th century when we have said Don Diego de Azambuja with a priest, a Catholic priest, the Basel Mission 1828, the Wesleyan Mission 1835, and Moronvia so 1843. Came introducing a certain form of Christianity. Enipa bebre adwene abaye nnome ama yesan se ye refi amamre na Christosom ka ho bi.
The question, my answer is yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, because I myself have written on that. Say, the kind of Christianity, the a Christianity wrapped in their own culture. But because they were coming into a place, and the Christianity they knew of, only Christianity they buy. And whilst they came to preach, and the gospel for Jesus Christ, still no. Now they also came with the gospel rapport with Omo culture to the extent that in some places you were not even allowed. Ghana for Adzika and Beya Christo from Penifoni Bicrano. Could not put him suit. If a most story is there for all to see, to hear, you know. And he almost the and moreover, education is almost the brain. That education did not take into consideration any answer so no yen said the AC at TTM. Yen said they need TTM and your former. But now you say, infant say, Papa, ne carpenter, the bannonin and Ushia say, we need ya for the banner, or in party saladium. Through that socialization, we bring it no so orient, yes, I collage near or source. Wrong, because our education was to help us to become citizens of our own people. It was a more of a socialization. Me and so Yababe, say me a Santinia, me bay. Nina Baya Santini, say me a Fantinia, me be Nina Baya Fantini, say me Copua, me be Nina Baya Copo, that kind of thing. But they came to introduce formal education.
Okay.
Because English, mathematics, arithmetic, English, geography and history. The history is so much. Nipa no about with the assumption say who need history there. Then obviously the history you're going to learn. History abakosem obisua. English abakosem. Geography no so no. Woman nim ye terrain no ye. And you no there no na unim. And you woman no educated at that time. They knew more about the colonial master no the crew and some history. A chance that they need me and cry there. Now moreover no say Obi actual history about what they open on no work. Because at that time the Encrophobia no munya meye. Unfortunately, it became a straight jacket. Oh, and nuna ye Christus somno. And ye Christus somno, ye near Orthodox churches. I mean, Adzika a Methodist, you, me a Methodist, me nana a Methodist.
Yeah.
We say Christ, a bishop. Yedi bibigum num ne niema beba be fifa fifem adane amaye yin aba be ye de by ye form ye de niema methodically nti ye niema bia ye no buruni die no ne die no ye no se di si dresse ene sa niema na ta de tuntum no hye ne krom na say awo ho ene niema na say ye hye bi. Of course we give it the theological meaning and also the I mean Abrofu de I can dress ya na menana eke. Almost no cave mo. No do stage. We go move it no me suit. Those kinds of things in there evolve. We cannot claim say because why I said the near here. But I don't think say Bruni so a mark because why I said the near here because circumstances and other things will force us to change. But even there, I walk around so bad, the kata change no one and it could do clean and you need a bachelor and it's our name. Any matter designs are near the grass and balls. You need a bachelor and so need me as an but so more Christianity boy, a condition no correct. Because I can't no cross say unipa bi wu a yesi ye de say ni si ye we Christiania we Christiania we ensem no bebrebe and next man nasesa I must say it's not the same today. We are allowing so many things. Can they matter this Methodist as well we who ko botwene do no kra na obo no do dem wa
wanya ne da
ye be first ka kwa kra organ. You are is a bruni and ban or barbe. I can near more do know I saw them all. What meaning discipline crophobia Marco Bodono, any other. And ne Sani as and one bisu Christianity. No, I want to be giant, and my and more. But I can be soon a buoy and this will my will be said. Am I eco school? Ama mu bi so akwa kusua niema
yeah
ye hunu se theology enya de se chinchin a ye wrap no in somebody's garment enti ebinum to say bishop sapon no penifo bi we ememu ha omo asori a omo eso ekire say we can use our own culture and other things to bring about revival. Catholic before introduce the liturgical renewal in the Methodist Church. We have done a lot of renewals. We are changing a lot of things. Other churches and also Pentecostal churches and also buying so have a challenge here. I mean, who said, look, we need to take what we have near the IAB.
All right, thank you very much, Ni. In looking at the other half of the story, which is how Christianity has helped, that people are of the opinion that the education that Christianity brought helped the early agitation of our forebears in pushing for colonialism. So right from the 1940s, when some nationalist movement started, the Aborigines Protection Rights Society, starting from the Cape Coast area, was predominantly, in fact, 90% Wesleyans. Methodists were close to 90%, and they started this agitation. Christianity was also a foundation for colonial liberation.
Yes, it was, and I'm happy Grandpa has given us the theology behind all that, and the fact to say positives is okay. Because I kind of opportunity so a year back. Yes, and yet education now. So you realize, I say, in the struggle that period, one Britain for no see any panel where those who were exposed to them, those who understood their language, culture, to confront them. John Mensa Saba, they were leaders in the church. They were lay leaders who understood education, fighting for all those things, and it helped in the struggle. Even the struggle for independence. He was educated. He had gone to Britain and all. So they understood them and were able to resist them based. So they spoke their language. So it's not all that bad.
Even though Tumfo at the time, I mean, and all that.
Exactly. They had all. You can't leave out J.B. Dankwa and all those people, scholars, lawyers who understood, and they used it to liberate us more or less, to let us fight for what is. Forget about the peace, whether it was instant or gradual. They used it, that education that they were exposed to help in the struggle for our liberation. So it's not all that negative per se. We picked the positives from it and use it against them. But we were hoping that by now,
you settled down. You TV settled down. That's it. Prof, Yamra, the early 1982 when Kwame Nkrumah was given the position of a prime minister. The political agitations here, from Aborigines Protection Rights Society, Babisi, establishment of the UGCC, CPP, Free Muaba. Say, Kwame Nkrumah yaye no prime minister. Gradually 1957 we gina simpie so Ghana, our beloved country, is free forever. Prof, are we really free, and have we been free from that day of declaration of independence?
Can you hear me? Yes, I mean, sir. So the whole kind of say, Kwame Nkrumah, our country Ghana is free forever. There, you know. I think, yes, that was the beginning of we are setting ourselves as Ghanaians. And you remember when we brought down the flag of the colonial master and started raising our own flag. And that was the beginning. We had raised the question. Yepe ahufedie yepe pepepe yepe mpuntu efri edi eni ankasa yen mine ya mamre taking into that any and yaka. Unfortunately, way down the idea question why you beside and yankoso messiah. You see, that question that led us into the independence, we should have continually to ask that question, say. Ye bisa sa question say ye pa hu fedi ye pepepepe ye penema bema African personality. These were the terms that we were using. As I said, constantly ye bisa sa question say sa Africa personality say ye kasi ye person ye niema no ye person ye ne sa na e bedu stage bi ye ko ye politics bi a e dem papa mu ye Nkrumah a ono kura o gina ha o kan sa asem do stage bi o say him for no kura big dwane with their sandals. Yen traditions no ne niema no e bedu stage bi Kwame ono was a theologian no Nkrumah was a theologian. E bedu stage bi no na niema ya ikoye bi because communist seven in same bi me na me yo pani ani.
Okay.
We had and one of the things that in a meeting kikaka inspiration no ne code ni there back one here can Nkrumah does no wrong, Nkrumah is our leader. Nkrumah does no wrong, Nkrumah is our messiah. Nkrumah does no wrong, Nkrumah never dies. Yeah, if you follow him, if you follow him, Osaje for he will make you fishers of men, all sorts of things. I think a better stage with that question. We should have consistently raised that question.
Okay.
And in some cases, that meant to say we'll have to tighten our belts in certain areas so that we'll be able to make it. China for there was that cultural revolution. The cultural revolution is what has brought them where they are now. Of course, other revolutions be by. The visa question, their independence, but we stopped raising that question. We thought we had arrived. And we are struggling. I don't think, we have fully achieved the independence, the kind of thing, the psychological independence, the cultural things that we are talking about, African personality is, any economy, a bit taking into consideration our own, our economy, in search of money, we are even destroying our natural resources. Galab say it is say quiet because we are looking for money and all that.
Yeah. Wow. So from the perspective of the then young pioneer who was taught to recite the mantra of immortalizing Kwame Nkrumah as the president forever. Now, so from the time of the 1957 independence, 3 years, we become a republic in 1960. Kwame Nkrumah is made the first president of Ghana. In 1964, Kwame Nkrumah decrees a one-party state. through the act of parliament, of course. And a man for say, we are not happy. You can't just do this alone. Until there is going to be an agitation of a coup. What do you think? Ghana for na sebe ya dwene say ye mo obi nko nanimu na all of a sudden we want to condemn everything he did.
So from in fact maybe after the show I have to ask Grandpa.
Yeah.
I really want to know more about the young pioneer because
Okay.
I from the song he sang, song now Grandpa too. Yeah.
Yes.
I wasn't surprised that at a point in time Nkrumah was overthrown.
Okay.
Because he's been demified. Nkrumah ye nyame kra ya twama Nkrumah. Why and Oyenepa it will get into his head. It got into his head. Some of his decisions were not good for the people.
Okay.
And it tells us about leadership style. If you are always there up there and then you take the people for granted, a time will come I'll make you answer. So that was what happened. I'm sure if Nkrumah had been with the people, there were dictatorial tendencies along the line.
Yeah.
And it is human. They say if you person will be suba money power, give him power, give him money, and then you see the true character. So at the point, maybe the power got so much into him and the people around him. Money taking decisions be ambua, but the sovereignty of the state is always with the people.
Okay.
The power is with the people. And the people taught him that, hey, this is not how we want to be led. We don't like this style. They gave birth to the military juntas that we had, where it became a norm. It was part of the epoch of our epoch, the history, that truncation there. Because hitherto, if maybe Nkrumah had continued, who knows the industrialization drive he started, maybe he would have, because he had a long-term vision. I always say, I want to study Nkrumah as an institution. Okay. He was ahead of his generation. He had long-term, he was analytical and strategic.
Okay.
Most of the things I'll see, and that is what enjoy. And Nkrumah, yes, so there was good in the man. But the power that got into him, that made him take certain decisions, and of course, grandpa to definitely will get into his head. It will get into his head.
All right. So surprisingly, na me share documentary bi. Omo a yenya ye fa hu de na bi ma placard so Nkrumah young Jesus, Nkrumah our Messiah. Now when Nkrumah was overthrown, now I saw another placard Sasrabonsam, Nkrumah Sasrabonsam. I mean, I took a great deal of a lesson, but so for Pomopom, I mean, take us through the miseries of the time. But looking at the first coup d'etat, NLC 1-4 ebaye ye won coup d'etat handed over constitutionally yet to ababuzi aba NLC 2 so samba komua ba be see PNDC. Our coup d'etat regimes, is there any lesson to learn from?
Of course. I mean, Kwame Nkrumah, Kwame Nkrumah, that was in 1966. I think it was it February?
Yeah.
Thereabout.
Oh, okay.
We saw what happened.
All right.
We saw what happened. There was a lot of jubilation, to the surprise of some of us. And so, who said me as a young pioneer guy, I wasn't happy at the time. And that was for selfish reasons, which I will not discuss here. Because who me behind the scenes, I'll tell you why.
All right. That one I will call you.
The generality of the Ghanaians were happy. Nkrumah statues were being destroyed in the Niamoye, unfortunately. Yes, no, when the NLC, the National Liberation Council, came into power, they came in, I to say, used the word house cleaning, but they also came to do that because they proscribed all political parties, and then thought that they were going to bring about a new thing. Center for Civic Education that brought Professor Buzia to come home. Professor Buzia had at that time, they all fled the country because of dictatorial tendencies of Kwame Nkrumah. any other. And a lot of people will justify that and say, Nkrumah had to do that because there were attempts on his life. That's fine. And no, let's leave the politicians to talk the way we're talking facts.
That's right.
But they brought him here, and Buzia was responsible for the Center for Civic Education. He went around educating the people, or say, all church and Krofoni Nema. So when the time came for them to lift the ban on partisan politics and for people to engage in partisan politics, he had already a good start. I mean, Buzia had a good start. He had told all the country, with the Center for Civic Education, educating people and all that. And when the other parties came, when 𝗟𝗡𝗙 came and started the National Alliance of Liberals, it was a formidable party that challenged the Progress Party that Buzia started. And you also had different other parties, Amori, Yanas, PAP, all sorts of different political parties. Ghana for banning of the politics in the higher power. But handy over. Among them, Oman Kasano, so mobile them, General Kran and head. And woman, there was Jenna Kubi, anti a bar said, Diano Coco D, a free faso, and then later on, Yedia Diano Coma, Professor Buzia. Professor Buzia Babi Diakunyano, and Chebia, I think 2 years, 1972. And
72.
Champon so bad. What I learned in a Champon Nankasa, he was an Nkrumah boy, because Champon had a history. His history was that Senye Nkrumah na intervene young, Champon wouldn't have become a military officer.
Okay.
It was through Nkrumah's intention that led him there, but I know they led the historians who know the story tell you. And he, a Champon no pay Nkrumah asset, and he wished he could bring Nkrumah back. So a Champon too did what he called the amenity school. Buzia had come up, and at that time, in dealing with the economy, why a devaluation of the city, it had affected a number of things. The military, tighten your belt to Sembia Bem, and he used that as an occasion, and we call it amenity school, because the Champons, the few amenities we were enjoying, were every and 70 a day, and so there was that coup. And NLC, NRC. We went from reaching to redemption, and from redemption, we went NRC 1, NRC 2, and then it changed into something. A hospital internal coups, Kokofa, Akufu, Nom, Nedia Kekaka. Then, of course, Sujafua Babidia Kunyanebi, the servicemen, the first NLC Kuno, it was police and the military. NAA Sakuno, the two Kwame Nkrumah. It was the police and the military together, and Kuno. The second one, I jump on the end or no by any days, also yes. And the military people, so and Omo by cross belts if we Oma Baba enjoy power. And to do stage, I think they had forgotten themselves why they did what they did. Even though, I must also say, history must be kind to a champion in some sense. Because if you travel around the country, and near my champion, and he came on by or say, or see in Tria. And students also support him. We yet me buy and because of that, so a lot of the things the champion did, he didn't get any loan from outside or the DSR, it was IGF. Ono introduced Operation Feed Yourself. And at that time, from my recollection, Ghana even exported food. Because there's so be a know that Dan Latify and also one of this program no my champion. Grow what you eat what you
domestication.
Why a garden kakrabi wo and a kui the mother of all kushi by June 4th. All all the other ones were bloody. But the June 4th one was very, very, very bloody. It bloody, and it was the kinds of things that it taking the country through. No? It was intended to be the last of the coups. And the kinds of things they did. As I'm in the moon,
that's right. That's right.
I am why in Fourth Republic.
Yeah.
I think have we the question I mean maybe the answer no a question no a bisa they call independent. Have we answered that question yet? I mean, if you look at the way we are doing our politics, I'm asking ourselves, have we truly answered that question of freedom, of justice, of African personality, and of those things? Are we still struggling with it?
Yeah.
And if we are struggling with it, at the end of Abasa, corruption, and we become power drunk, that sometimes we even forget to raise those questions in here and in the African country.
Wow, amazing. What a first-hand analysis of the happenings. This is a trend analysis of the various coups. Right from toppling the First Republic, the Second Republic, now the Third Republic. So that's a comment from you and we'll move on. So the Third Republic now is being toppled by the PNDC. And through that... Okay.
And
yes, sir.
The how Nkrumah's overthrow became so popular. I remember saying Frog Bass or Palladium. Now, maybe that time, Nkrumah a bit introduced to CD.
Okay.
At that time, the value of the CD was 8 shillings, 4 pence. 8 shillings, 4 pence. In society, Mammy Penny be Makola woman or Frog Bass, maintain crime, but that's a load stuck into my house. She didn't go away. Worketation CD, Onupa station CD. Aonya ya o said that mungwe.
And so science is a queen. I don't know, guys. Is this a queen?
The main reason why Nkrumah should go was that it brought about. So that was how unpopular he became.
Wow.
Even though Nkrumah was a messiah.
Interesting. That's a good one. Let me take your comment on this and I can open the live. So the Third Republic, Dr. Lehman, is toppled by the PNDC, and from the era of the PNDC, as Prof said, from 1981 till 1992, Ghana decides to become another republic afresh. So from 1992, we are still enjoying our Fourth Republic. Your comment on that, and we'll open the phone line.
Yeah, so it was in 92 we accepted that we'll be democratic. We accepted the value of democracy.
Okay.
Say Kabima Minkebi should be what should guide us, where citizens' participation in governance. It has been there. I know participatory governance was something that was championed by Buzia those times, where he thought grassroots participation is everything. Decentralization, you can't take it from him. But this is the time I say, democracy is the way to go. The interesting thing that happened was that it was under a military man that we wanted to transition into democracy. So now the whole Ghana, Papa J, Obejemuni, will Rollins give in with the people are surrounding him. God being so good. Some people argue that the constitution, as we have now, our 1990 constitution, was crafted so that he can easily enjoy some powers. And that was how come we got the democracy. Until 32 years or so on after democracy, we'll be asking ourselves, say, Anna, a dear boy, Anna. Do we benefit from everything that comes with democracy? Most of it has been elections in Dua. Corruption is something that I think ingrained and formal corruption.
Endemic.
Endemic.
All right, your phone lines, no. So from post 1992, when the Fourth Republic was enacted with the constitutional mandate of democracy, absolute democracy, where the democracy will be enshrined on the fact that somebody is put out by a political party, voted upon, and if the person is voted upon, he becomes the leader of the state, backed by the parliament, also with the judiciary behind. Well, Abwayen, democracy, Abwayen, Abwayen, Yebisa, democracy, Abwayen. 0256253461 0533500625. Kabima min kabi amamu ni ewo mu Abwayen. Papa Prof Adzika, Professor Emeritus akase the endemic nature of corruption, the fact that our democracy has been hand to mouth besiambo yakwa yehu so na enije ewo afan bi nkwa besi samre are we really benefiting from? Good morning Adam, good morning. Hello Adam otemenka yo tanoso fo mu gina mo na so de
papa.
All right, yet you.
So when you that say, any day, na prof so, and yama na, and no fellowship, so, meeting the same topic any treaty.
Okay.
Yes, various regimes from Kwame Nkrumah, our first republic to did the same topic. You see, you for Kwame Nkrumah. Go special for you. And now, yes, so you Kwame Nkrumah kakra. Me say you took Kwame Nkrumah's number P4. Enti you hunu kakra.
Okay.
Na de eye nyina nwanwa ye bo ho mpaye page na say questions no prof ebusa no. Say butaya ye de gi independence no CPF ho de nyanya di ho so na ye nyina aka bo ma ye unity no. E wo ho ana enede ene gina so bo mpaye. Na Jeremy say Emre tu Kwame Nkrumah ye huni ye school fu ye lane yourself ebosa ma obia bose kire say obia bi at the prison enti eba sa ne kese obia ye obia the whole Ghana obia bose that time no enne so obia wo ho a ne so wo ka Kwame Nkrumah asem a enna ye hu se de yensinka enti ya dwena de prof wo ka no ye hwe butaye a ye de ge fa ahudie no na ke nyina emma ba primu na ke kwa chichire o magana na de ya colonial days no kora.
All right.
So
yo, yeah, that's a Philo morning. Hello.
Hello.
Morning.
Good morning. Papa Christ in you.
Yeah, Adishi.
Bachana Moye.
Amiadum.
Mitia, young papa presided ne blame. Na software kakra mesra kanye. Masa mana prof akamame. I say, Bruni oba ye no oba fire acting. Software I train now oba fire no. A one problem no. Enti sensi a Ghana o kosi broni adwin kwa na wo bi etrim. Na me ya ko school abomba mama ese yan kambrofo enti etifie kura yan kambrofo am so wejale tamla me no ne ko school eti so me brofo ne didi aji mama because what they are there any petrimu ahu ne ye den papa na abaji de se so fo na motutu ko ne prof mo akodu akwasi broni kuro mo ko parliament o ma se Ghana atade da na ada o mampani di o man tebia betudwa na obo suit is a speaker of parliament na tutuntum aguso oh so for so ya na mu Ghana ni ba kokora isi person be anya yanko school ya nye raba no unya wo bi obekasa just 10 minutes brofo ba kokora na film enti die ewura ye tribu no eno na edi yenye sofo e se kwan bi wo wo mo betimi afa so yi de ewura yetrima kwasi broni de beblebe na munyi
na za wa say ade ewura utrima ye de na ye na ekoyi
eti an kakra mo na fan kakra eneni minim se ne ho ofese ida ene na fade ya wodi so no wa ye festa obi eti de bia onko so na wanya da fa Ghana afade ese na
okay yeah that's it
so no be say democracy adaboa anamwa so fu ni me say first na minim say ya kan democracy ya say ya democracy ene na me wo say ya democracy amwa ye amaye mani sabi bi chimi so fu amwa ye
yo yeah that's it all right so Yanko Quarcoo citizen on ye ningo. Good morning, honorable.
Good morning, also for Doctor.
Honorable.
Mami ndi kaintia so kupon Quarcoo Sante, Prof. Na mentia brand so. Papa, kupon bisa question bi. I think one of the college class about to say, are we answering the question for independence? I think that the question for independence should be our vision and mission at the same time as a country. So that is a question we should ask ourselves. And say democracy abua na mbua. Maybe say abua. Name me a long way to go. Because the America say abua and say the political stability aba. If in 1992 Ghana any one party state bill. After you say freedom of speech. And media censorship policy everybody and even civic participation say I to obey leaders no so means that salima way near democracy am I citizens and also to participate say you develop your mind no and akakakra
okay yeah that's it fireman good morning
Sapo Kachomi Jamako
Nyamiadum
Michia Abeda Foso, and I pay me near my sister and this Lumbuya in the professional way. Or say, democracy, and yet, now I'm why am I Ghana? To me, fireman, democracy, and yet, democracy and car, who and Ubenya, Tibu Swakasa, Radio Swakasa. At that point, but why are you moving? Your pasu, and your party democracy that will come and then. But to me, the democracy in there, because the picture what you saw to make in the days to be fire what you saw, but by the grace of God, now to be fire in the professional way. And I mean, some method is as a so. And can it phone? Yes, my phone, my Kayam yourself. Now, 2 million Yama, I don't know. But that will come. Yet, this free man, by your mind, Ghana, of the show, my media, your friend, and carefully. Oh yeah, we do man, but free man. Emma, I do there to me survive about your mind Ghana. And to me there, they can fly the head, but make because in the day in the Methodist Church, it's like we are preaching the gospel, but we are not demonstrating the power of God. And at the same time, the power of love is no more in the church again. In the church, members, but in that, we are seeking for our personal interest. We don't seek for the members' interest. I think they are project, but the best project is I will say, evangelism so up on so in no method is a evangelism follow I want to sorry them. Instead of them to go outside and go and do the evangelism, they are not doing it.
Okay. All right. Okay, the uncle offense so na yenko dinko. Minia morning.
Morning.
Me pacho na me mo achi obi bia boko de.
Ready boko.
Yo, yetio.
Morning. Democracy de
Me pacho lower volume ne kra, lower volume no TV ne so.
We can hold class and say the number say we democracy the TV here moment.
Oh, okay, but what we're making a point and say democracy dey yeah. Ubi and pese beko soja ban bia na bibia kwakoye bibia. All right, enti yenko prof ho na papa eni yewe. Papa enti uja ye kwan yi udie na obeka se eye adusuade kese pa from the political religious lessons I draw from our past.
I said, and then my yakan said they were kind from the very beginning. I said a Christopher Church and Society in this civil society near a Kabomo and Penny for any bizarre question. I did pay for Hodi, and traditional leaders near there. Yet in Kabomo near the pair. Then after in Kabomo na bana say practice democracy, partisan democracy. Here, your constitution, your constitution, and your partisan. But a partisan democracy should not divide us. Instead, we should continue to ask that question why you be silent and go independently. How is our democracy today helping us to answer that question of freedom and justice? And the African personality. How is that helping us? Your economy, proportional. How is that helping us? Answer that question. I believe if we leave that question aside, traditional leaders are sorry, politicians, educated, uneducated, na yempenifobidi and near the pair. See me really feast asem no. Omano enko yemayem. We have arrived. Journey no are 2 years no. We are saying 68, getting to about 70 miles a year. But we should continue to ask that question from time to time. Momi mun kompon ye chi ni yemisa e ho se. Sa asem no a e ma ye din kambo mu pe ahofadie no etise. One hwani ye hunne yi a nti eno e boaye ni ana.
Wow, wonderful. Ni una gwenwe mo.
Yes, the American say I think Romans 15:4 says we should learn from the past. It teaches us to have hope during endurance. So you're free baby and I am doing pempen, so I do as a country or as a people. Religious cohesiveness, I say unity is what that we are diverse people, diversity, but let's hold each other together and then we'll fight for current generation. Young people they were selfless. We should learn values from what they did. Selfless and patriotic. Will we get there where we can stand strong for our nation and defend the values and what they stood for? I think yes, the future is bright and we should be ready for change and be adaptable. In Sayeba, we should change for the better. I am strongly of the view that Ghana will be great again. Achia Nensuemuye. Ghana will be great again.
Ghana will be great again. Achia Suemuye are the concluding words of Gabi Ni Ankra. Thank you so much. We also heard from our grandfather, the Most Reverend Professor Emeritus Emmanuel K. Asante. Papa, unkwaso edase say your frewa utimi beka yehu da. All right, dear friends, this is where time will permit us. I have been your uncle, Mr. Mayor Methodist of Menya journalist. See whom baby are from your software Adzika. See you soon. I'll be back to end the show. Good morning.
land of freedom, toils of the brave and the sweat of their labors, toils of the brave which have brought results.
Abusia, wakwantu yo hutipa ye nyina ba awie ye wo. Enam Alancash Lodge and Travel Services inti. Alancash Lodge and Travel Services ebetimi do akọ man bi ti say Canada, US, Turkey, Dubai, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Korea, Japan, China, Malta, Germany, any Europe amaya hudu opi so. Na sa wo ye nurse, ana wo kransa no dwuma bia na wo ho certificate a. What wedi ye pesafo ni bia kwa amono ne akoye adwuma. Alancash Lodge and Travel Services ebeje wo visa, any work permit aka ho, e di amount. Ankrankre ensafo, suku so ahodo nso. Alancash Lodge and Travel Services ebetimi aboa mo ewo. Wo ticketing and reservation mu, car rental services, international tour packages. No ye travel consultancy, visa assistance. No sanso was study abroad packages. Eko man bia so. Riachi kwan ewo Mr. Biggs bus stop on mo a. Ye de Calvary Baptist Church no e na edi nhwe ani mu. Circle Adabraka. Frey 0544 279525. Ana 0545 622 672. Ana afi 0302 237 557. Alancash Lodge and Travel Services. Your destination, our pride.
More time, more time. All right, thank you very much. What's up on social media is next.
So the posts you have been sharing so far, the comments that are associated with it, and the rest of it is what we will be bringing you on WhatsApp, on social media. For the trends, we'll go straight to X, where we'll find all the trends. You get to click on it and to read more on the reasons why they are trending. In my new, it's trending in Ghana. Argentina is trending. Grok is trending. Messi is also trending here in Ghana. We also take a look at, still on the sports front, LeBron is trending, Trent is trending, Parliament is trending, Chief Justice is trending, and EB is trending, because finally the president will, or is yet to assent to it, and then it becomes a scrapped off a levy. Now we'll go to the very first post. 𝗦𝗍𝗿𝗘 2025, it's official, and it's a season to save one more. So 𝗦𝗍𝗿 2025, the Methodist Church Ghana, the Northern Accra Diocese, the Youth Development Ministry, and the Methodist Youth Fellowship, Methodist Youth in Church Evangelism, 𝗦𝗍𝗿 2025, Save One Soul, SOS. And this is at the Ghana Sub-Urban Circuit. Rescue the Perishing, Duty Demands it. MHB 338 verses 4. That's the fourth stanza. And so it's happening from the 17th to the 20th of April 2025. And so mark your calendars. Next month, we are going to be doing this activity. Sadinam says that in Ghana, we don't eat 2 slices of bread and get full. Saga. We use the 2 slices to check if the bread is actually good. This is Ghana for you. But let's go straight to the comment section. And Kwame says, no bread knife is allowed in Ghana. Naughty says, we are Africans. Nana Joas, of course we are Africans. Who get time to even slice the bread? That is Justice comment. Kelvin says that not with B. Foster bread though. 1 slice is a 3-course meal with dessert. Dede says, that's not me. I don't like too much bread. Hajia says, share. Abi, you know dada. And that is the comment. But Pundit says, thanks for making me smile amazingly this morning. Proud to be a fan. And Sednam also replied, Nanama says, exactly. Tasting the taste. And that is Bernard. Nana Kojo says, oh my God. And so, yes, in Ghana, we hardly use the bread knife. It's all about you tasting the bread and seeing if it is good for you. Without saying your age, say something a young person today wouldn't understand. Hey, okay. What are you doing in front of my back? Oh, okay, that is Lama's side. Mami says that when I say sound splash, what do you say? No shaking. King Solomon says, talking point, the most annoying program at that time. Bright says, teacher, please, is we a vegetable? Well, Adolf says, Madam High Heels. And Engineer Nimen Sakwe says, smile is not love, your eyes for day ground. Falanin says, put God first, work hard in the right ways to riches. Virtuous Abina says, come down from the sycamore tree, Zacchaeus. Kwasasa, Com Center, Ghana Telecom, phone booth, phone card, apotroka, and that is what this generation doesn't even know. Emmanuel Poko says, Pilolo, Alikoto, Pitinge, Quench, Walai, and then that is what the comment section looks like. And so these are some of the things that this generation may not really relate to, because they didn't even get to enjoy that aspect of life. But that is what's up on social media. Let's go straight to the video of the day.
Ade, Ghana commercial bank, Ghana commercial manga. What now? Walk up and go over to a story. Eddie, one your tongue story. Eddie, Bakunio, what you shall want your back, whatever you shall back on Sunni, a stores me and son. Ade, the Ghana commercial banker, oh now, she, Bakunsunni. Do you miss a minute? Tongue story. Ade, Ghana commercial.
Okay, the sister, when you store now the diagro, will be a day crowd over Marco say do atum.
Listen, by the time you get to the third one, we'll have it too.
All right, thank you so much for being with us. Let's go to the celebrations.
Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate.
happy birthday to all celebrants today. But to our first celebrant, we are wishing you a happy birthday, Reverend Jacob Nana Arthur Anan. Happy birthday to my wonderful husband, Minister of the 𝗟𝗡𝗄 Calvary Society. You are indeed a blessing to this generation, and I pray that the Lord bless and increase you. May you be anointed to do more exploits in His kingdom. And this is from your wife, Mrs. Charlotte Arthur Anan, wishing you a happy birthday. Madam Kate, happy birthday to you. Have a great year and even better years ahead of you, and may your life be a testimony to many. Happy birthday, Auntie Kate. Mr. 𝗟𝗡𝗍𝗍𝗿𝗍, happy birthday to you, my love. On this special day, I want to remind you how incredibly loved and cherished you are. I'm so grateful to you for the laughter, love, and strength you bring into my life. I couldn't ask for a better partner to share this journey with. May this year bring you endless happiness, success, and all the wonderful things you deserve. I love you more than words can express today and always. From your wife, Mrs. Priscilla 𝗟𝗡𝗍𝗍𝗿. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Richard.
I'm sure the name will be 𝗟𝗡𝗍𝗍𝗿.
Yes.
Right,
𝗟𝗡𝗍𝗍𝗿𝗍, happy birthday to you. I wish you a day filled with love, laughter, and all the happiness you bring to those around you. May this new year of your life be filled with blessings, success, unforgettable memories. Stay amazing and keep shining. Enjoy your special day, and this is from Mr. Kwanzaa to you, Akosua. Ato Bedu, happy birthday, our favorite choir master. God bless you so much. Be good, Ato. And this is from Sandra. Happy birthday. Jaden Ampofo Budi, happy 6th birthday. You are growing up to be such a kind, smart, and talented kid. We are so proud of you, and may your day be as bright and awesome as you are. May all your dreams and wishes come true. May God bless you, favor you, and increase you always. Mommy, Daddy, Grannies, and the entire family loves you so much. Age gracefully in the Lord, from Dr. and Reverend Ampofo of the St. Dominic Hospital, Wakutia, and the Ebenezer Cathedral in Nkoko. Lady Estella, you are the brightest jewel in my life. Happy birthday to my precious daughter. I ask for God's grace, blessings, and protection onto your life. Cheers to more success and endless happiness, my love. And this is from your mom, Sandra, wishing you, Lady Estella, a happy birthday. Do well to also share yours with us. Tomorrow is Friday. We'll be here to celebrate your day with you.
All right, thank you so much, MIPL Methodist University, Barbarella Clothing, Willis Collection, KFK Food, Wesleyan Dew from Tema, Alan Cash Travel and Talks, the new kid on the block. We want to thank the Freeman Methodist Guest House so much. You are the biggest of our sponsors, so we say thank you.
All right, and so straight to the Edinkwa symbol, let's take a look at the answer. And those of us who had it correct, well, thank you for sharing the correct answer with us. But today's answer on this one is a ban. It is a symbol of love, safety, and security. And so if you had it correct, thank you for sharing with us on all social media platforms.
All right, thank you for getting that one right. You still have some money to claim. Baby, as you can be free, we are still looking at it. Well, it's been an enjoyable Thursday with our Father taking us through the high moments, the low moments, the vicissitudes, the enjoyments, the happiness, and above all, the lessons drawn from Ghana's political-religious history. Ochinaso, yebetwaso. So make a date with us tomorrow.
The Ghanaian proverb of the day.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So do not call a dog with a whip in your hand. It pays to approach a situation or person with a calm and gentle approach rather than with aggression or threats, as this can lead to a negative outcome. And so that's how we end the morning with you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
All right. Enjoy the rest
Bye.
of the day. Bye.